If you have no qualms about quality, then you can get a tattoo for like free, basically. That's how they do them in jail. It's not that different from like what the tribal tattoos, in the island. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When you see that and those people have it like all really thick, dark I'm like, damn, that must have taken ages.
Well, that's why it's a rite of passage type trial thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and some of them are certainly like proving their like strength, or it's like some manliness thing or whatever.
Exactly.
That like feels very irrelevant to me. But like, if it's your culture, then like more power to you. But like, I guess on the other side, there's part of me that's still a little kiddish because I just went and bought new slippers.
I can see there.
They're Squishmallow. Yeah, the Squishmallow stuff. I know you guys have some. These are kid size 4 to 5. I wear an adult size 8, but they fit fine. So I guess I'm like, I want to be little. No, I just thought they were adorable. We all want to be young again, I guess.
Not if you're 13 and you want to be a tribal warrior. You're not wearing any pink Squishmallow Pegasus. That doesn't exactly scream tough guy, defender of the tribe.
That's true. I do not want to be a tribal warrior, though, so I'll stick with the Squishmallows.
Cody's like, what did you do for fun when you were a kid, Dad? And I'm like, well, we used to just hit each other with sticks. Basically. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was a lot more pretend, We had, like, created fantasy stuff. You did some fencing stuff, so then there was, like, a period of time where we had, I don't know, it was like a PVC pipe covered in, like, foam and tuck tape, and you guys would go, like, beat each other up with it.
That's the essence of that game, yeah.
It didn't seem weird at all then. I was like, Robert's being a knight right now and like off with his friends having sword fights. Like, like, I don't know.
Yeah. I told Cody about like, we'd pretend to do Civil War or Vietnam War or whichever war, which is basically like the ladies club in
yes. Well, Mom told me I was
Monty Python.
I was talking to Mom one time about your birthday, and she was like, well, the birthday that stands out the most for Robert is that when he wanted to do a Civil War reenactment in the like middle of the street, and they had like, I don't know, like, you guys were doing it for a long time. It got to be late, so it's dark, and Mom was worried the cops were going to get called by the neighbors or what have you. And I'm like, a Civil War reenactment party in 4th grade or something like that. Like... I'm like, only my brother would do that.
I don't know why it's funny, but it's funny.
It's hilarious. A Civil War reenactment.
Yeah. 4th grade.
I would like literally never think of that ever in a million years. Like, I'm like crying. Sorry.
The funniest thing we've ever said.
I mean, they were like, okay, we'll do it. We'll set up like a medic and like whatever. You guys have to like pretend with cannons and I don't know what.
10-year-olds.
12-year-olds running around.
Take the hill, take the hill.
Yeah, go get the flag. People are like, dying. In the middle of our Tulsa
you're
neighborhood.
Dead. You have to stay there. Just lay there.
He's like, I'm bleeding. Oh, get the medic.
Put me out of my misery. Go on without me.
Someone amputate my leg. Like, I don't know.
Has this visit home been, has it been worth the effort? You've been industrious here.
It has been nice to be home.
I thought maybe you had it's like, well, I gotta, like, I don't know, fucking go to the post office and pick up my package.
Well, yeah.
You don't have animals, but like, there's stuff like that you might have to do.
Yeah, I have a war that is raging with the squirrels outside that has resumed because they keep digging up my plants. And so I've had many solutions to this problem, none of which are working super well. But they have stuff that you sell that, like, you spray it. It's called Repels All. And, like, basically it smells like some wild animal piss and like
coyote urine or something, right?
Yes, and it's and like so you spray it, then the wind blows, and you're like, like every time, and that works pretty well.
It could be the perfectly still day. You spray that stuff, and the wind
and it's like right back in your face, and you're like, oh god, oh my god, I gotta work.
The upside being no squirrels are gonna climb on you after that.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, we should kick it.
Maybe we should kick off the episode, huh? All right, cue the music. You are listening to the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich Show, the one and only comedy show about personal the one and only personal finance show. The one and only. Go ahead, Kalyn, you tell them.
The one and only personal
The one and only comedy personal finance podcast show on the entirety of the interwebs.
It's a tongue twister.
Is November 12th. We're never going to try to say that again. That's part of the reason we're the only ones, is because nobody else can say that string of words correctly.
Get it out, yeah.
No. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. This is episode 29. We are one episode away from episode 30. I'm Robert Kimmel. I'm one of your hosts. This is Kalyn Kimmel. She's another one of our hosts. Neither one of us are very good at tongue twisters. And the other thing we're not very good at is, what was that, Kalyn?
We do not give financial or investment advice.
Yeah, we're not sure what we'd give or don't give.
But definitely not that. We don't tell you what to do with your money.
But one thing we will tell you to do, one thing we will take, we won't give, but we will take your likes, your subscribes, your comments, and if you would share this with your friends and your enemies, we would so much appreciate that. So hit that like button right now. Hit subscribe if you can. I don't know why you wouldn't. Well, I know why you wouldn't, but I don't know why you couldn't. We would very much appreciate that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll also take donations. I don't know how we'd get them, but we can.
No,
I'm open to donations.
Comment or email us that you want to send us a donation, and we'll set
up a Venmo,
a Patreon or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that the purpose of Patreon?
It's just another place for us to post stuff. Then, but yeah.
Oh,
you do get paid for that.
This is the sort of thing when you learn when you're 30 podcasts in, I guess. It's not like people are freaking clamoring to send us money.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the candy you've got, what do you got there?
It's a taco.
Gummy taco.
I'll bring it up there, but I just wanted to show you.
I cannot wait to demolish the
outside
candy.
is hard, though. Like, it's a box. I think this is a box, and then it's got, it has worms looking things in there, see?
Those are supposed to be onions, because everybody eats onions on their tacos.
Yeah.
Delish. All that candy makes me think of, we got an update from our friend of the show, Beckett Whitmore. He wanted to send us his updates. First of all, he very proud to show that he had gotten
some
gummy bears.
Yeah.
Haribo. And then second, perhaps more surprising, in 2024.
He got candy cigarettes?
He got a candy cigarette. Beckett Whitmore goes trick-or-treating. He gets all this candy, right? But some family decided, you know what these kids need?
Those aren't cheap, like the box of candy cigarettes? I mean...
Yeah, I don't remember how cheap or expensive they are, but...
Yeah.
You go to these houses that give you the full-size Twix or whatever, like...
I know. I'm always like, wow, these people are rich. That was like...
know.
I saw a thing that was like, when you think back to when you were young, what was like, man, this guy's rich? What were some like telltale things for you?
Yeah.
I remember my friend Shireen Edamati. Her mom worked at Saks and drove a gold Toyota Camry, and I was like, man, this is the height of luxury. Like, I thought it was like the fanciest car ever. It didn't have leather seats or anything, but like the seats were really soft. And I remember just being like, when I'd ride in the back of it, I was like, everybody's looking at us because we are so rich. Like, like, do you have anything that you were like the full size candy bars? That's like another thing where I was like, man, these guys are freaking rich.
I almost brought up the McVeigh because they had a pool table.
Yeah. I guess Adrian did achieve her dream of being in NASA.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good. And also being a lesbian.
Right, and like, yeah. Nobody ever thought I was I was so boy crazy, like, from day one. Like, no parent would ever wonder. I was just like, ah! I mean, Dad still remembers the name of my preschool boyfriend. Like,
he saw him out. To
yeah,
dinner or
yeah,
something,
right. Like, yeah, I went up and talked to him. Like, hey, Adam Doss, Kalyn Kimmelkid's dad here. Like, okay.
I think if I saw Adam Doss and I knew who that was, I would have to go say hi to. I mean, you just have to. Like, hey, listen, man, I know you're eating.
With your 3 children and your wife. Like,
I haven't seen you in 35 years. I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm Kimmelkid's brother, but I'd be like, hey, you went to preschool with my sister. I had to like say hi.
Like, I don't even know how I recognized him. I don't think I would recognize him. Like, I mean, I remember a little bit of what he looked like when he was a 4-year-old, but I mean, so you know how Apple, like, your pictures, it'll be like, put names on everybody, right? So they don't, sometimes it'll come up with the things like, is this Robert or whatever? Well, I took a picture of you and I, and I'm like a little baby there. Like, I'm not 1-year-old, mate.
Chubby cheeks and all that.
Yeah, and like looking like a fat baby, like not like any, just like a generic baby. And it's like, is this Kalyn Kimmel? And I was like, how do you know that?
It's
like,
incredible.
This doesn't look like me at all. I will pull it up.
I think we cracked the code on this. I think Dad runs around taking pictures of people, and Apple tells him, is this Adam Doss?
Right.
That's the trick.
This is a screenshot of it. See?
Right.
This is like, is this Kalyn Kimmel? Does you see that? Can you read it? I don't know.
I can.
Like, I'm like, how, like that. I mean, I don't know. That just looks like a fat baby. And I mean, like, come on.
That must be Kalyn Kimmel. It's got Kalyn Kimmel written all over it.
Like, if you asked me, I wouldn't know that this is a girl baby so much. It's that age of babies that it's like, they all just look the same. They're all just like fat little potatoes, like, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
I also have all of these for us for when I'm up there. Many flavors.
It's going to be a party in our mouths.
And then this kind that, for whatever reason, is a different font. This is the original flavor.
Come on, Pop Rocks, get it together. Publish a brand guide, for God's sakes.
Yeah. So that's cherry, tropical punch, crackling gum. It turns into gum. Watermelon, cotton candy, and strawberry.
I cannot wait. I'm not even sure I like Pop Rocks, if I'm being honest, if I like that sensation in my mouth.
I also got these things, which are a little, they're fizzy candy. Basically, they're like little tablets of Pop Rocks. And it fizzes, yeah.
And you've tried one.
I tried one, yeah. And I was like...
Yeah,
it's like a big Pop Rock, like one that's that big. And then it's just like... yeah. So...
Andrea threw away the Coke flavored Oreos.
Andrea is quick on the draw with the throwing away of. She likes to clear
somehow we got both a double stuffed Oreo.
I bought those.
Oh, I will say, of all products out there that you want to buy the branded version of,
hell yeah,
don't buy the because you
Hydrox or whatever. Like, what the fuck is this? Hydrox? You name a cookie that sounds like medication. Like, like,
yeah, guys, do better.
Yeah, seriously. We know you're the discounted brand. Like, God,
yeah,
just by your name. Like, tell me your discount without telling me your discount. My cookie's called Hydrox.
Yeah. Can you imagine the marketing meeting where we named that?
Yeah. It's like, it's our fourth ingredient, disodium hydroxinate or whatever. Like, something that doesn't sound like food.
Our first pick was Sodius. And then
Sodius.
And then we were thinking chemistry set.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, let's see what is man. I was like, what are the ingredients in Pop Rocks? This must really have I can't believe it. Ingredient 1, sugar. 2, lactose, i.e. milk. Corn syrup, artificial flavor, red 40, and processed with carbon dioxide. That's it.
Processed with carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
So is it merely the carbon dioxide freeing up at the bubbles
don't
popping
know.
or something? Wow.
I don't know. I thought that this would have like crazy ingredients.
What a disappointment.
I'm amazed. I'm like, this sounds way more like things you'd know about than
Chemistry.
I don't know
set.
half the shit that I eat. Let's look at the gummy taco. Maybe that. Oh yeah, that's the kind of list I'm looking for.
Corn syrup.
Corn syrup, sugar, gelatin, grape juice from concentrate, less than 2% of food starch, modified potato, corn, dextrose, citric acid, flour, high fructose corn syrup, sorbitol, natural and artificial flavors, corn oil, pectin, fruit and juices for color, soy beef flour, caranuba wax, artificial colors, carabine color, beeswax, mono and diglycerides, and cocoa butter, and blue number 1. Dude,
That's not so bad either. That
I'm
sounds like something
what
you
the
can make in your
hell?
bathtub.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like if we
mean,
go
there's
get a loaf of bread, we're gonna have like weirder ingredients than this. But
Yeah. There's a couple of those ingredients toward the end of the list that sounded a little funky, but
beeswax, yeah, I didn't know that beeswax went into this stuff. It says, do not put in the oven or microwave.
Well, this thing looked like
It's
a
not
heating
a
tray.
taco. Do not heat this thing up.
It doesn't say anything about heating it. It says don't even put it in there. You can't store the damn thing in a microwave. All right.
Yeah.
I think we ought to take a look at the Get
Oh
Rich
yeah,
portfolio.
Yes.
Here we go. Get ready for this. Hold on to your seat. We are up.
Oh my God! Wow.
10.68%,
Look
including
out.
2/3 today. I think we're
Wow.
catching the
S&P.
I think we are S&P today because S&P's down. I think today.
Not us though, because
it's down
we make
0.42%.
good investments. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let me show you the culprit. Fannie Mae.
Wow. Oh damn.
Trump bump 88% up. I so wish I had bought some Fannie Mae before the election.
I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't buy it then, but I have some.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe
well,
I should.
Fannie Mae is probably looking pretty good.
Yeah. Down there.
Our recent picks are doing really well. IPO killing it. Howmet 10%.
Yeah.
Admentum up 8%. We were
We're
up 10%,
10%. Yep. Mm-hmm.
on the backs
10 point
of
something.
Fannie Mae. Let's see how, therefore, it compares to the S&P 500 baseline, which is up 9.68%. Oh my God!
We
Oh my
won!
God! Ring the
Oh my
bell!
God,
We are beating the S&P 500.
Yay! Finally! Like,
Finally.
at fucking long last, we've been like, yep, you're doing better just investing with the S&P over us. Like, but that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks to our investing genius in
Yeah.
Fannie Mae.
That's
Yes.
right. All the what the hell's in Kalyn's portfolio, random ass stocks, paying off in dividends. Even more important than if we're beating the market is if we're beating our friends. Hopefully.
Absolutely. Let's see what's going on with the
rich.
friend portfolio. What's your guess, Kalyn?
I bet they are down. They're in the red.
They're in the big time red.
Oh!
They've down 2% today and 5% overall.
Man.
Pulte Helms. Starbucks is actually up, so that one has turned green.
Today,
but
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pulte.
Pulte
No, all
Helms.
time down today.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Pulte Helms down
Pulte
10%.
Helms.
So.
Man.
Listen, whether you
Yes.
take investing advice from us or not, which you should never do, but you should
Yeah.
absolutely never take it from our guests on this show.
True. Wow. Man. This is the first time we've ever been kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah, maybe early on when we had like 3-4 positions, there were a couple weeks where we were ahead and then behind. And then,
Yeah. But then it was
But,
like behind. Like, man,
Yeah.
maybe I don't feel like we should have a
long, slow
Yeah,
slog.
like-
One thing we never pulled the trigger last week on Agilent if we were
Oh,
going
yeah.
to make an investment in that or short them or whatever. They happen to be one of the few stocks that's up today a little bit, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's because they got the
So-
A ticker. I think they're always a safe bet with the A ticker.
yeah, people reach them first in the alphabet.
They're
And they're
just
like, okay,
like,
I
yeah.
gotta buy something.
Done.
So,
Yeah, just go with A.
yeah, it makes life.
It makes
so
a
much
huge
easier
difference.
There we go. So I mean, should we just pass them on? Just pass on it, or like no
Yeah,
position?
I would say pass. That's my personal opinion. Is
Yeah,
like,
no
it doesn't get me
conviction
excited
on-
enough to like bother with
So after A comes
B for Barnes.
yes, Yeah, B, Barnes Group.
That sounded like I was going to sing a song. Like B for
B
Barnes
is
Group,
for
C for
Citibank. D,
Citigroup.
don't remember.
Dominion Energy for 4G. Yeah, I'm going to make up a song. We'll have it next week.
It's like the 50 States song, except for it keeps freaking changing. And,
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, damn it, I got taken. I is available. Just kidding.
No, it's not anymore. It's Dippin' Dots. Speaking of Dippin' Dots, I did reach out to Dippin' Dots, and I filled in their form, and I said, hi, I'm a 9th grader in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm doing a project on company values, and I love Dippin' Dots. Will you please tell me what your company values are? So we'll see if they bite on that.
Oh, man, I hope so.
Okay, now the intersection between two topics now. So letter B, Barnes and company values. Let's just start. What better place to start than Barnes Group company values, huh?
Oh,
they have a page dedicated to it. Now, Kalyn, I want you to guess one company value the Barnes Group has, please.
I hope integrity is one of them.
The first one is...
Yes! I knew it. I knew
integrity.
It. Man, yeah, we're all about integrity and Barnes. Yeah.
I knew that's what you were going to say. I teed it right up for you, and you knocked it out of the park. Integrity.
Yeah. All
the
right.
highest ethical standards is what they do at Barn Group.
Yeah.
And then,
awesome.
you know.
Respect. That's a good one, too. Yeah.
Yeah, what were we saying? Inclusivity or something?
Right. Diversity, collaboration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We empower people.
Oh, empowerment's a good one. Like.
Right. Here's this
That's what
meaningless
we
word.
empower people. Yeah.
I saw this one and I was like, I guarantee that is the CEO.
Yeah.
And
doesn't he look like he's empowering them? Determination, yeah.
Determination. So I read through I've read the investor presentations and blah, 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 blah for Barnes Group. Mm-hmm. And, well, hell, I'll show instead of tell. Why not?
So while you're looking for that, I made a chocolate cake for Mom and Dad. For some reason, they were bugging me about coming over nonstop, and I'm like, why do you guys want to see me so bad? What the hell? Leave me alone. So I made this chocolate cake, and I made chocolate icing for it. I made it buttercream. It also was supposed to make 2 rounds, and I ended up with 2.5 rounds. So I made a tiered cake that Mom and Dad were like, this looks like a hat. It looks just like a But the chocolate icing, I had a kind of disaster in the kitchen, and chocolate icing just in the wild kind of just looks like shit. It looks like poop, and it ended up getting flung all over my kitchen. So I keep finding all these little places everywhere that are I'm like, what is that? Oh, that's just chocolate icing.
A little poop drop of icing.
And while I was giving them the cake, I told Mom and Dad that I'm supposed to go to my doctor, and I don't want to do it because I haven't gone since my last physical. And that time they told me to get another colonoscopy, get a mammogram, blah, blah, all the shit that I haven't done, right? And Mom's like, you should just get one of those kits to do the colon screening test or whatever. And I was like, funny you say that because I did yesterday because it was on sale for $2. And I was like, I thought this was normally $30. But have you ever done one of these?
No.
The at-home ones. So they give you a way to get your fecal sample, right? Which is lovely. Already lovely stuff. It's a piece of paper that you it has adherence to go on the side of the toilet, right? But they don't tell you very much about it. So I did it too tight, I guess. So it was really high. Yeah. Immediately just fell off, and the sample fell up. No, the paper was there. The sample fell off. And so then I was like, I guess I'm just gonna have to take this. I was just I got frustrated, and I was took it off, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna done it. So then I was just I'll just shit on the floor, and so I put the paper on the floor.
You're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. So then
wherever Kalyn goes, stuff ends up on the floor. But usually when she says shit on the floor, she doesn't mean literal shit on the floor. Not usually
shit on the floor. Yeah, but so I put the paper that was kind of crumpled. I put it down the floor real quick. I put it down, and then I squat really quick, trying to shit on it. Half of it on, half off. And I was like, this is the worst process in the world. Then you have to get the thing out. It's yeah.
Do better.
I'm I need more instructions if I'm going to have to put this thing on the toilet and collect things. Then, like, as I'm like doing, you have to take this little thing out and stick it in. They're like, do it at least 5 times. I'm like, okay, is it okay that the sample is on the floor, or should I not use the part that's on the floor that's on?
I doubt there's any cancer cells on the tile floor or whatever. Like,
well, it's looking for blood, I guess. So like,
that's probably not
you like have to shake it in this thing, and then you put it on a test strip, right? And meanwhile, I'm like, it stinks in here. Like I got in a plastic bag or whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna get a colonoscopy next time. That's easier than like dealing with
right, shitting on a piece of paper. It does sound a lot easier to get put under and have a colonoscopy.
So
oh my goodness.
So sorry.
I thought you were gonna say you took the icing and you shipped it off to Cologuard, but
yeah, it's a fun process. I highly recommend. I'm gonna give you one for Christmas, so you can try it. See if you can get it right.
That is the perfect gift for the family that love 23andMe. Instead of spitting into a tube and finding out what your DNA is,
you can poop on the floor
and find out if you have colon cancer. I'm thinking about you going through this process of deciding, I'm going to strap this paper on the toilet. No give at all. Like, you didn't think this through. You need a little sag to catch the thing.
But then I thought it would just flip, like where you put it exactly. Because the strip is like this wide, right? So it doesn't cover the whole toilet. And I was like, I'm going to pee on this thing. What? I always do both at the same time, like, I don't know. Right. I don't know what boys do, since you guys like to stand for one thing and sit for the other. Like, do you stand up and then sit down, or you just sit down?
It's our secret.
Like, so I was like, I don't know where to put it exactly, because if I put it too far back and it's got a lot of give, then I'm just going to hit the edge and it's going to fall right off. And then I'm like, okay, I got to go now. And then I put it far enough forward, but then I was worried I was going to pee on the paper. And so then I I had to put the seat up so that I could sit on the very, very edge to pee and not get on the paper. And then I put the seat back down. This was like a very long process. It's like the longest I've taken to do my bathroom business ever, maybe.
Why don't we send you a cup or something? Like freaking
right?
I
know. I was like, why don't I just hold the paper under my butt, and then if I give me a glove and give me a piece of paper or whatever, so I can just be like. Anyway.
Okay, so back to Barnes Group. See, this is why we're doing this podcast together, because we have the same sense of humor.
Yep.
Okay. Share this tab instead. They're reaching higher altitude.
Oh, yeah, we are. Well, they do aerospace stuff, yeah.
Well, you said you really like aerospace, and
I do.
They do.
And you really like molds. I mean,
this is a perfect investment for us. Oh my gosh, this is their strategy. They want to scale aerospace, and they want to integrate, consolidate, and rationalize industrial.
Yeah.
So what this tells you is aerospace is doing well and is really profitable, and they want to do a lot more of that. And the other ones, like
the other stuff, they're gonna make that faster and cheaper.
Yeah, they want to grow from 29% aerospace. They think they're gonna get as high as 56% in 2024.
Dang!
And then look up here.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
it's just illustrative, though. It's not.
Yeah, it is illustrative. We don't know how or why we're gonna do that. What did I tell you? That guy from that picture?
Oh, it was Tom Hook. I knew it. He's
Hook.
new. He's only been there since 2022.
Yeah, and I have a feeling I know why they brought him on, what they want to do, but they got all these brands. They were basically, this was Barnes Group, so they basically had invested in all these acquisitions. Anyway, yeah, so they're growing, blah, 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 blah.
Wait, well, what about Tom Cook? Where's Tom Cook? Why did you hire get hired?
I will show you right now. So I was doing my usual, looking at the chart and doing my click through and blah, 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 right?
Right. Ooh.
And then I saw, look at this big jump that grew us 23% in the past 4 months. Then you come down here to the news. Barnes Group suspends guidance due to buyout. They've gotten an offer and are busy being acquired by Apollo Funds to take the group private. So my bet is a lot of times companies say, look, okay, our strategy is we're going to get acquired. We're going to have this liquidity event for the founders and blah, blah, blah. So let's bring in a CEO who knows how to do that. And my bet is Tom Cook. I bet if we look this cat up, he's taken a couple of public companies private or whatever before. So
yeah.
So
Man,
here's the thing: they they offered $47.50 is what they were offered, and so right now the stock is trading at $46.67. So you have 83 cents you can make on this investment if you are going to bet on it selling. So that's 2%. You can gain 2% on this investment, and if it doesn't go, it
could drop back down to
$35 or whatever is that. Yeah. So this is what we called asymmetric, but asymmetric in my mind in the wrong way.
So to me, this is don't invest in Barnes.
Yeah, this is a hard pass on Barnes in my view. This is nothing which is, to your point, too bad because it's lots of aerospace and lots of molding. So
yeah, they're such a sexy company, and
sexy Tom Cook. Well, the last one we invested in based on the sexiness of the CEO, Admentum, has been stinking ever since.
Well, I mean,
maybe that's not the best way to make decisions. I don't know.
You got a sexy CEO. We're shorting this stock.
All right.
I like my senators sexy. I do not like my CEOs sexy. Yeah. Well, Citigroup is next. I mean,
the other one I wanted to debrief, right? Was selling this box of Maserati stuff that came with the car, right?
Okay.
So maybe in post you can splice in a picture of this box and the keychains and things that were in this.
Yeah.
Now we sold that thing for
$150.
$150, and I want to know the psychology of the person that buys the thing for this thing that we were like, throw it in the trash, and like, no, let's list it.
I probably was the one who encouraged you guys to list it because people will have tons of listings for not just the dust bags that go with fancy shoes and stuff, but the paper bag. If I go into Prada and I buy stuff, they put my stuff into a bag that I would later throw away or I would use for recycling or something. People sell that on Poshmark all the time. All the free shit that comes with stuff, if it has a brand on there, then people want it. And while your box is it's a nice box. I mean, I was surprised that Andre got $150 for it. And I was surprised how fast it sold because, there were other ones listed.
Any dollar above the recycle value of the materials in it is a surprise.
Right.
I mean, just as a guy who
right.
Why? What are you doing?
What's
the value of pretending you own a Maserati? I mean, maybe you're the guy who's
oh no, there's a lot of that. People buy them all the time, and I'm like, what are you gonna do with this? This is a dust bag. Unless you have this bag, or you want to put your Gucci bag into a Gucci dust bag for whatever reason, which you could just use any other bag. You could just use any kind of felt bag.
You could go on Amazon right now and buy 24 dust bags for $18.
It's crazy to me. Yeah.
This is why you don't have a 401k.
Right.
You're buying crap like this, people.
Right. When you're like, I need that paper bag that if I walked into a Prada store, I could probably talk the salesperson into handing me just a paper bag because it's just a bag. You know?
I'm going to pay $16 for that, or who knows?
Right.
I don't even know. What do you sell these dust bags for?
$8 shipping. $8 shipping on Poshmark, I mean, it's crazy.
All right, I have one last follow-up from last time, and then we'll get to the segments.
Okay.
Yul Brynner, The King and I.
Yes.
I went and found it. So I was right that he did it for 30 years, but he did not. He was not in King and I continuously for 30 years. He did it in 3 segments of a couple years each. But still, you got to play this part 4,625 times.
Right.
And then it was so successful at that, they were like, we're going to make you the dude in the movie, which to your point last week, I'm sure making the movie was no big shakes after suffering through this 4,000 times.
Yeah, you're like, I've got the lines memorized, no problem. Ready to go.
Can you imagine when 1985 rolls around and they're like, Yul, listen, my man, we had this idea, capital suggestion. What if we revive King and I, and you reprise your role as the king?
Yeah.
And Yul Brynner's like, oh, God.
I guess so. All right. I was thinking you were going to say, let's redo the fucking 10 Commandments. I thought you were going to say Magnificent Seven, redo, but yeah, King and I, all right.
They're like, people, You can't think of anything better for me to do than
Yeah,
King
right?
out of King and I. Like,
Yeah.
I went to freaking
Ramses?
Juilliard.
Yeah. Wasn't he Ramses in the
He sure was. Yeah.
Magnificent Seven? In the Magnificent Seven, that's when he was Ramses.
Yes.
Nope.
You remember when the Pharaoh orders them to take,
He, like,
take over the
does his
Mexican
cloak.
town?
He's like, let it be done, or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Let it be done. And then the cowboys come in and
and they're like,
and the one guy's kind
we're
of scared.
looking for the
but then
Mexican
he
bandits. Like,
finds his courage and he's like, comes out and then he gets shot. And then Jesus comes. No, not Jesus. Moses.
The Jesus shows up from the Big Lebowski. It's like, nobody fucks with the Jesus holding his bowling ball. This is quite a movie we've got here.
I think Yul Brynner would have been about 10 times more excited to do that than
doing the King and I.
King and I, 200
Right,
more
man.
performances.
Yeah,
in
right.
1985.
No kidding. Yeah. Yule is a name you don't hear very often. I think that we should bring that back. I like those old school names.
Kind of
Hiram.
falling out of favor. I was thinking about this the
Yeah.
other day with the Muppets, where they're like, what should we name the Muppets? And they're like, let's think about the most oldest, crotchetiest names that we can, like Civil War
Penelope.
era, Kermit, freaking Grover.
Oscar. Yeah, Grover.
His name hasn't been hot since the 1880s.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
like,
Yeah. Nobody calls anybody Snuffleupagus anymore either.
Nobody,
Like,
not a one. No.
Oscar isn't very. I mean, I guess I know some.
There's
younger
another one, Oscar. I remember the first
Yeah.
time I met an Oscar, and I was like, "That's a real name of real people." As a kid, you're like, you never imagined. Maybe that's why they picked those
Yeah.
names, because they didn't want to they're like, these are truly timeless, or on the flip side, not timely at all names. They pulled out the book of people who died in the Civil War or something.
They're like Fuzzy, Fonzie.
Yeah, should we call him Jebediah or Ezekiel?
Yeah, right. Gertrude. I haven't thought about Muppets names in a while, but
Dad knew a Kermit. So he knew an
Yeah.
Oscar and a Kermit separately in different parts
well,
of life.
the most famous. Well, there is a very famous serial killer named Kermit. He was a doctor. He's like a very prolific serial killer, actually. He like would put women under, and then he would do an abortion up till like the day after the baby's due. Like not just like third trimester, but like 9 months. Like babies were born alive.
42nd weeks.
Yeah, they would be born alive, and then he would like sever their spine and stuff. Like lovely. The conditions at his clinic though were like beyond disgusting. Like a bunch of like he was into like storing pieces of the fetuses. Apparently sometimes they were in the fridge that the staff would also use for their lunches. I mean, this stuff is like, if it wasn't real, you wouldn't believe it kind of thing. It's just the most repulsive possible. Like, he had a bunch of cats in the office too that would hang out and like be in
During
the like in the rooms with the. There would be, you'd have to be assigned to a room, and sometimes there would be like blood on the table where you're supposed to sit and stuff like that. There were lots of people that said that they heard babies crying, and then babies would no longer be crying, and they'd find like a foot in a fridge or whatever. I'm like, who works there? If I go to a place of business and I'm like, okay, there's dead body parts in a fridge where I'm supposed to keep my lunch, I'm out of here. I don't even know how, like, you cannot pay me enough to work in a place that's covered in cat piss and blood and like has dead bodies around. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I get that people are desperate. Fuck. Like, it's so gross. And nobody calls the cops. Nobody's like, I hear a baby crying. And then suddenly they're like, this one was born dead, stillborn. Like, I swear I just heard something. No, that was my wife. Like, she's just like, meh, meh. Like, whenever she sees a dead baby. Like, what? I don't know. He's in prison, though. Yeah.
What do you think the company values were at that?
Probably determination
Integrity.
and
Integrity.
empowerment. We're all about empowering women here to get abortions and die.
Yeah, I was kind of so many potential jokes were going through my head, and I was landed on that one. I was also thinking about the Mexicans coming in and stealing good American jobs at these, or they're the only ones willing to work under these conditions, or. You think the meat factory's bad? I freaking like they have cat piss and baby feed
put
in
your
the
lunch
fridge.
right there. Like, you just have to push over that jar of formaldehyde with, like, you know, an arm in it. Just scoot that aside. There's room for your soup in the fridge. No
Why is
problem.
he hanging on
Like,
to that stuff? Because he's a sick motherfucker, basically?
Yeah, I mean, apparently there were like hundreds of samples. All the cupboards are full. I don't even know why we're putting it in the fridge at that point. Women that came back for 7 abortions, like, how hard up are we, honey?
This is the best clinic you can find. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, not going back to a place 7 times. It's got like some mangy cat with fleas hopping on the table where I'm like, is that part of a placenta that's still here? Like,
Oh my god.
I mean, seriously. Yeah, there's women just like moaning in the like bleeding in the like waiting room area, apparently. Like, anytime you got a blanket, that shit had not been washed. Like, I'm never coming back here. Never. Let alone
This is
like
my last
blood
abortion
and
at this
baby
clinic.
parts and like, I mean, it's like out of a horror movie, you know?
God.
Yeah. That was
Wow.
Kermit, though.
Maybe that's why it's not such a popular name anymore. Here I was thinking that once you name a Muppet a name, like no parent wants to name their child that anymore. But it turns out it's the abortion baby killer. We come up with some amazing topics on this podcast,
That's
Kalyn.
true.
Freaking colonoscopy checks and like pedophilia, and
yeah.
this episode has it freaking all.
Yeah. And right?
This is not investment advice, folks.
I know. I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
Oh
like,
my
I don't know.
God.
I don't know how people could possibly not like take us as investment advice, but it's not. It's funny.
Here we do the in-depth research of companies like Barnes Group, and we talk
And then
about
digress into like Muppets and abortions and murders. Yeah, you know.
why aren't we getting more listeners? Like, you know.
I know.
So, Kalyn, all this discussion of
Gummy bear.
abortion.
Let's pull that dead baby off the wall and cut off a piece of it so you can eat it. By dead
gonna
baby,
tear
I
this thing
mean
out.
gummy bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it over here where it's on a totally solid surface. Okay, and we're gonna tear
And
this
no
out
hangy
properly.
offy pieces.
Okay, 0.
all right.
It says. Yeah.
We're ready for the weigh-in.
All right,
Man.
we are at 3 pounds, 11.6 ounces, which is nothing like
Okay.
any number we talked about last time.
Nope, not at all.
Now you got to talk
Yeah.
amongst yourselves while I bite this.
Yeah. So how does that dead baby leg taste? Yeah. We're doing pretty good. It's looking less like a bear, more like just a lump. But it
kind of looks like. Here's what the archaeologists found remained of this this bear mummy.
Yeah.
And here you can see it actually has some of its original hair.
Yeah, tastes pretty good though still, huh? And
Oh,
I think
so
the texture, like, I'm amazed how well the texture, like, it hasn't gotten harder or like anything like that. Like, it's really, those preservatives are something else. That's what I'm getting at.
Hats off to Gummy Bear Guy and his world's largest gummy bear.
Yeah. How much did you eat?
I ate 2.9 ounces, Kalyn.
Ooh,
At this
that's
rate,
like-
it will take us approximately 20 episodes to complete this gummy bear. So
Well,
that would
that
put
was
us
a-
right at episode 50. That may be our celebration.
Right? Then I get to order the 250 pound. I keep saying that. I have 26-pound gummy bear. Fill it up with Pop Rocks in the belly.
If this is a 5-pound gummy bear and then the 25
Right, we want to
pound
have
gummy
the
bear is gonna be
entire the entire table like a coffee
with
table.
250 pound gummy bear. Comes in like the chair,
It's
like
the
the
size of the room.
The box would be like the size, like if you order a chair or something from Pottery
Right.
Barn, it'd be like that size.
Somewhere
So this is
in
where the business plan for 250-pound gummy bear really falls apart, is you can't even ship the damn thing because
it would cost a fortune to ship.
you gotta put it on a pallet and
Yeah, it would come with like guys, like with the hot tub game. There's like 5 guys who just like pick it up off the car, take it into the backyard, and like that's the same with the gummy bear.
And you're like, damn, you're good at this. Like opening up the gummy bear box. And then
You guys
like,
just travel around the country dropping off gummy bears.
Ma'am, where's the party? Do you want it in the dining room or here on the kitchen counter? Yeah.
Right. Do you want this outside? We recommend not having it outside because of the bugs.
And we also don't recommend having it inside because you'll never get it back out. And there ain't no party big enough to eat 250
right.
pound gummy bear.
All of us picking it up when it's like not solid, right? Like it'd be like, oh no, it's slipping, shit, like dragging it on the ground and stuff. Uh-oh.
You gotta cut that thing, man. You can't pick it up, and once you decide where you're putting it, it's staying there till the party's over.
Yeah, this is where it goes. Yeah.
All right, well, that's our business idea for you budding entrepreneurs out there. All these emails I get from freaking Rami about starting a business, and you just come up with an idea. This is an idea. I'm giving this away to the universe for free.
This is for free.
250-pound gummy bear. We got a few operational details to figure out, how you ship the damn thing. But
my hope is that Dippin' Dots takes us up on this one and gets the letter I.
There you go.
Assuming that their values are in line with ours here at the
That's
Robert
right.
and Kalyn Get Rich podcast.
Where our core values are integrity,
diversity. Let's look at us, all this diversity, like
determination.
It's the same gene pool, but
we're very damn
it's
near
like the least diverse possible.
We could be twins, and that'd be the only way we'd be less diverse.
Right.
Than we are, but.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're looking for integrity, grit, determination, and diversity, I'm not sure this is the podcast for you, but we'd sure love to see you. Come visit us again. Let's cue the music. You've been listening to another episode of Robert and Kalyn Get Rich, a production of Get Rich Media out of Cleveland, Ohio on Ardley Drive. Cut that part out. We're out of Cleveland, Ohio. Well, I'm not going to tell you my address.
Yeah, and Houston, Texas. We're not just out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
What are we
that's
doing
our
today?
Diversity. That's our diversity.
We cannot get our intros in.
Two different white city suburbs.
Well,
listen, wherever we may be out of, or no matter how diverse or determined we are, we'd love for you to like and subscribe.
Yeah,
hit that like button, subscribe to us, send us a message, leave a comment.
Give us 5 stars. If you do
forward us to your friends.
Yeah.
Email the show, Robert and Kalyn Get Rich at gmail.com. Kalyn is Kalyn. Whatever you do or do not do, remember this one thing.
This is not financial or investment advice, though we do highly recommend trying to make 250-pound gummy bears.
Yeah, if you're a budding entrepreneur out there, guys, high school classes, the same student who emailed Dipping Dots for asking for their company values now is in entrepreneurship class, needs an idea, 250-pound gummy bear. You can send the royalty checks to Robert and Kalyn Get Rich at gmail.com. Yeah. With that, Kalyn, I think that's about as much nonsense as I can handle for today. Let's say goodbye.